Okay, now let's take a look at one of the things that really takes a while to master for students of Greek, and that's the gender of words, of nouns and adjectives. Now, when we're talking about gender in language, we're actually talking about the grammatical gender. In other words, certainly all men would be masculine, all women would be feminine, but it does not mean that all objects are neuter. In fact, it's quite the contrary. A word like computer, o υπολογιστής, is masculine in gender. Now, there's nothing manly or masculine about a computer, but the word ends in a way that most men's name end. So that's what makes it masculine. So anytime you have a word that ends in as or is, um, and in many cases os among others, we say it's a masculine word. Uh, and we only say that because its ending looks the way most men's names do. So we're going to look at the arseniko. Arseniko is the masculine. Now, everything we're going to say here applies to nouns and adjectives. And it's important to remember that while in many languages, like for example in Latin, the gender is given at the end of the word. Um, Depending on the combination of letters at the end, we can determine the gender. In Greek, we have that as well, but we also have something in front of it, which tells us not only its gender, but its number, that means singular or plural, and its case, what part of speech it is. So don't worry about the parts of this table that are blacked out. In the masculine singular row at the top, we have o theos. O tells us it's masculine and it's singular. And the os at the end, which actually could be feminine, although it's much less likely, also indicates a strong possibility of masculinity in this noun. Well, we have those two together. So otheos, if we didn't know what it meant, we would look it up. It just means God. And if we wanted to make these plural, move them into the nominative case. Nominative case just means when it's the subject of the sentence. We're going to change the o to e, and theos will become thei. The os is dropped and the omicron iota is added in there. So the o and os from otheos become e thei. The example sentence we have here, ο Θεός βλέπει το παιδί, the God sees the child. Οι θεοί βλέπουν, the verb changes because now we're dealing with the plural, το παιδί. The gods see the child. Let's take a look at a few examples more, and I'm not going to do them all. I'd recommend trying to complete these tables for homework, and you can certainly contact me with any questions. So we're going to try and convert these masculine os nouns, that is, nouns that end in os that are masculine, to e. We have o megalos theos, the great God, and each piece here, the article, the o, and the os in megalos and theos have to change over to the omicron iota. O megalos theos becomes e megali thei. And everything that you see listed here in the left-hand column will follow that exact same pattern. Now, it wouldn't be fun if I translated all of these for you. And in a way, you don't need them. This is a grammar exercise. So all you would need to do without knowing the meanings of any of these words is simply convert the singular markers to plural ones, and you've at least accomplished the grammar task here. From there, you can check the vocabulary very easily. Let's look at another branch of the masculine. These were the os words. We also have as. Now, fortunately, these are much easier, and the as words will become s in the plural. But the o still becomes omicron iota. Now, where this gets a little tricky is when we did the os words, everything matched up nicely, the o and the omicron iota. But that's not always going to be the case. And if you look at this example here, o kalos philakas, the good guard, we'll change the o to the omicron iota. There's e. Kalos is an os ending adjective, and that'll become kali. And philakas, being an as ending noun, will become epsilon sigma, y kali philakes. When we talk about nouns and adjectives, they have to be the same in gender, case, and number. Case, remember, is just the part of speech. And number, singular or plural. They will not always look alike. That's very important to remember. If you look at the next line, o kokinos kavuras. Well, here again, we have o, it's masculine singular. Kokinos, it's masculine singular. It's the os ending. Kavuras is also masculine singular, but it ends in an epsilon sigma in the plural, alpha sigma in the singular. So o kokinos kavuras will become I kokini kavures, the red crabs. Okay, now that gives us two endings so far. We have the os and we have the as. Now there's a note here at the top. Remember that o as becomes es unless the accent is on the final syllable, which is when we add this. And we saw this in the feminine slideshow for those of you who've seen it. So if we just skip down to O mikros papas, the little priest, the accent is on the last syllable. So we're not going to say I mikri papes. The rule tells us that because the accent is on the final syllable, we're going to add this. And we get I mikri papades, the little priests. Okay. All right. See if you can complete these for homework. You'll obviously need to pause this slideshow to get everything down. And I recommend actually handwriting everything out. It helps you remember spelling as well. The third common masculine endings, there are many, but there are three that are predominant, are the ones that end in is. And fortunately, this is going to be the same as the as endings, because in ancient Greek, and actually even older than ancient Greek, in really, really early Greek, alpha and eta were essentially the same letter. Eta came into Greek very, very late. So etas are treated just like the alphas are. So here we have o kalos athletis, and we're going to get I kali athletes. The is will change to an s, the good athletes. If we look at the next one, o neos naftis, the young, and nafti, for those of you who don't know the word, is the sailor. It's where we get words like nautical and nautica, and even the word navy comes from this. So o neos naftis, we're going to convert the omicron to an omicron iota. So we have I. The os in neos will change to an omicron iota again. So we have I ne naftes, the good sailors. Okay. So those are the main masculine endings. I know it's all in a nutshell in this very short slideshow. There are some rare cases. There are endings that have basically fallen into disuse. Um, and remember what we said again about the last syllable. Some of the other endings that we have in the masculine, like s and us, will get the this ending. So cafés is actually the word for coffee. Many people say café. Café is the brown color or the color of coffee. So os estos cafés becomes I zesti cafés. Canapés all the way down at the bottom. You can look it up. I don't want to give that one away. Okay, so you can practice with these. This is a very small category, but there are some very common words in there, like you can see here, papus, babas, canapés, and so on. So, what we said here today, there are three main masculine endings, os, is, and as. And there are others like es and us, which are less common. And that is all there is to say right now on the masculine, singular, and plural. Good luck with your homework. Thank you.